Episode 3. Today we'll be talking about spiritual warfare and how it plays into our everyday life and how it takes an effect on us if we are not consciously aware of what is happening around us.
Exactly, and it all depends on the energy that we bring in and give off. Law of attraction. Actually, I'm gonna go a little off. This is gonna be our first episode now on Spotify, so we are now moving on up. Just we'll keep you guys updated because the longer we go on with this podcast, the more platforms we're gonna try to branch out onto.
That is very true. I'm happy to say that we upgraded to Spotify as well. We've been working with some people, working with some guests that want to come on to the podcast. We'll keep you guys updated on those. We're going to be a little more active on social media. We're going to engage with you guys a little more. We've been away for a while. We've been grinding some things out in order to get to where we need to be and get the information we needed for the podcast and to educate ourselves and others along the way. And so here we are to talk about episode 3, spiritual warfare. And to start us off, one thing that I was thinking about the other day, just to open up your mind in a different perspective and help you think, kind of a way in that I was thinking the other day, was that we work for our money and we commit time and energy in order to make our money. So with that, we are putting our own time and energy and the energy we put behind it, whether it was positive or negative, into this. And then we as humans accept currency as an exchange for goods. And we all had that common understanding for the most part in modern day society. So as you slave away and make your money that you work hard for, and then you go spend it on things you don't believe in and things that you don't need, essentially, and it's a waste of your time and energy. And when you do this and you're wasting it and you're not consciously aware, it takes a toll and it prolongs you from being where you want to be in life. And you kind of accept energy as well when you exchange currencies in exchange for goods, because you did work your time and energy towards something. And then when you're working with that and you work for your money and you exchange your money to something like Nike or something, and you know it's something that's not good, and you know that they have like children working for them under wage and all that, and basically those slave children working in sweatshops for them, and yet we still support them essentially in that sense. And it's something that we're not consciously aware of, but we are getting that energy back as we are supporting it, because we're keep supporting that company and keeping it alive, kind of thing.
Yeah, just like with our laptops, like the microchips that go in our laptops, our computers, the working conditions that go behind, mining those, necessary items and elements, they're very bad. A lot of times they're in Africa working for a couple cents an hour, if that, yet back here they sell these laptops for hundreds, even thousands of dollars, but there's people literally slaving away, utilizing the items that, that we're even, or not utilizing, but creating the items that we are using now. Like even to make this laptop, or to make this podcast, this laptop, that was not made in a good sense. And that's the energy that, we're surrounded with worldwide, and everything is connected, and people don't really understand that. And that's the spiritual warfare that goes on against us. That also goes into like the red pill, blue pill concepts. People would believe ignorant truths, but everything in the world is connected, and you got to be aware of what kind of energy that you're putting out and what the energy that you're bringing in. And I'm not saying not to trust people, not to have fun every once in a while, but, just be a lot more conscious of what's going on around you. People are losing that, external awareness, and they're numbing it with a lot of things like alcohol, tobacco. You can do all of it. Just do it in moderation, be temperate.
Yes, exactly. And with the spiritual warfare, I think we can even dive down deep into things in our everyday life, like shoes, for instance, or man-made areas compared to nature and God-made areas. that feed the energy to us. So you feel a lot more energetic and you feel better and you feel yourself and more welcome when you're in a nature environment, when you're in a hiking trail or you're walking by a waterfall or whatever it may be. When you're surrounded by nature, you always feel a lot better than when you're in a man-made area surrounded by concrete. You're not really touching the ground. I think shoes take that away from us too. Through the bottom of our feet, we can receive energy when we walk on the grass and stuff, and it kind of, we receive that energy, and it's a growing energy, and it's a positive energy, and we're blocking ourselves with that with the soles of our shoes all the time. And I think we don't spend enough time in nature because we're always surrounded by the cement. And if more people surrounded themselves with nature, I feel that they would have a more growing mindset, because that's the energy they're surrounding themselves with, and it would help them prosper better as a person instead of just being cooped up all day wherever it may be. Or they have hobbies where they are self-improving and they're challenging themselves and not being comfortable, because once you are comfortable with yourself, you kind of just lost it. You lost your desire, you lost your will to keep going and moving forward in your life. And to be honest, I don't think any of us in our early to late 20s are really ready to say that we're ready for retirement or whatever it may be, but we keep making these conscious decisions of wasting our time and energy and wasting our money instead of growing and thinking in a better or growing way on how you can get to where you want in 10 years and how you can help people with improving yourself every day, and how you can help other people grow as well within your time of growing, because you're learning at an exponential rate when you are surrounding yourself with that energy.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree that surrounding yourself with people is important. It's good to be independent, financially independent, emotionally independent. But if you surround yourself with like-minded individuals who are willing to grow, or, they even have skills which you might not possess, like, for example, if someone is better in the stock market and you're better at real estate, you can come together, form LLCs, businesses, share ideas, maybe you're good at, investing, and the other guy, your homie, is good at working out. You guys can help each other grow in a, positive manner. But you also got to, spiritual warfare, you also got to be very careful on who you allow in, because people can influence you. And, if you allow the wrong people, put your trust in the wrong people, it can set you back for, a very long time. And it can attach negative entities to you, or whether that's literally or figuratively, but it can set you back for a while. But the energy that you put out is ultimately going to be reflected back upon you, regardless if that's going to be with the people you hang out with, your attitude towards people, people's attitudes towards you. They're always going to come back in reflection. And, but you can control if you want that energy in your life or not. But if you're currently struggling with depression right now or anxiety, like, really sit there and think about why. Like, is there things that are controlling you, like addictions? Nothing is inherently good or bad. It's how you use it. Too much water for you could kill you. Too much, nicotine, well, it's going to be a financial draining on you. But nothing is inherently bad. It's how you use it. Just like people. People can either build you or break you down. Substances could either help you grow or break you down. Your diet could help you grow or fucking make you feel like shit. Think about all these things that you're doing in your life every day. What's making you unhappy? Is there certain choices that you're making? Is there certain people that are holding you down? You don't owe anybody an explanation why you're there or not. And really start to think about who you want to be and who you want to become. Too many people are stuck in a negative mindset because they are constantly in day-to-day living, paycheck to paycheck living. Do you have goals, yearly goals, 2-year goals, your 5-year goals, whatever your plan is? And and build that inner circle of who you're going to get there with. Yeah, you can do it alone, but when you surround yourself with people who have the same ideals and goals as you, you'll definitely get there a lot faster. And me and Nate have both been in situations where we've been at the lowest, end of the spectrum, where we felt angry, depressed, didn't know what was going on, where we're going to be in our life, just living day to day. But it comes with surrounding yourself with people who want to grow with you, and that's how together. When you have that common vision, you just get to a point where you become essentially unstoppable. And even the negative energies that come into your life, they'll just wade over, and it won't even matter because you're so focused on your purpose and your goals and where you want to be that your whole aspect of life changes. Even the people that come into your life change because they can sense that energy that you're putting out.
Yes, that is very true. And when you grow with people, you tend to go a lot farther. Think about it. If like Bill Gates just would have stuck to himself and just stuck to as a one-man shop, do you think he would get anywhere? No, I don't think so. He wouldn't have had his team behind him to help him get to the level where he is now of pushing out all this Microsoft and on these laptops. He has a whole program and every computer has it under him except a Mac. And it's crazy to think that, but he couldn't have done that just himself. He had to have a team behind him, whether people would like to admit that or not.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of these, big billionaires, I don't think are the greatest people on the planet, but I do respect the grind that they put to get to that position. And also, as you were saying, no one gets there by themselves. Yeah, you can lead the group, but there's still people along the way that carry their weight, and when you're down, they pick you back up, and vice versa. Getting through life alone is not really a feasible thing. You got to be mentally strong for yourself, but just pay attention on who you bring into your life. Is there anybody who's holding you back? And I know sometimes we recognize who's holding us back, regardless if that's a relationship, family, but you can get a sense in your stomach and your feeling in your head like, this person is doing nothing but holding me down. You got to really think about these things. Nobody is meant to stay in your life forever. Life is supposed to be a game where you learn, and those negative experiences, you could either let it destroy you and destroy your spirit and your will to live and grow, or you can take those negative experiences, use them as a lesson, and become a stronger person. Because we don't grow through the good times. We grow through the hard times. When you're feeling isolated, depressed, angry, that's when your character really starts to show. Like, how you make it through those hard times determines, largely if you're going to become successful or not.
Yes, and when we get to these times, we have to be very careful with the intent and energy we put behind our actions. Lots of people lose focus and they go very primate in their actions and become very emotional in a sense instead of thinking with a logical and at ease mindset. And intent and energy they put behind their actions can be supported by love, or it can be supported by hate, anger. And you have to be conscious of the energy that you're throwing out even during these hard times, because some of the things that go down and you say these things with the intent to cause harm or to upset another person or to hurt another person, it can take a toll on that person and hurt them. So you have to be conscious, but also you have to set up personal boundaries within yourself and know the intent behind your actions. So that way, when someone does get hurt, you can say, hey, it wasn't to hurt you. It was for my own good. And because you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of anyone else. And that goes emotionally, that goes for time, that goes for your grind, that goes for finances. One of my biggest lessons in life that my dad taught me is, I remember when I had $5 one time as a kid, and we went to church. I wanted to put my $5 in there, and my dad told me no. And lots of people probably think, hey, that's kind of messed up. You're telling your kid not to donate or whatever it was, but he knew that was the only $5 I had at that time. And he looked at me and says, yeah, you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of anyone else. And I learned from that. And as I grew in life, I realized that lesson meant so much more, because, yeah, I may not be a millionaire today, but in a few years when I am, and the outcome I can have in making people's lives better and for a good purpose and for a good intent out of love in my heart, it'll be a lot more of a wave and a lot more powerful than if I were to do it right now, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And another thing that I noticed whenever we go out to like a restaurant or a bar or something and we're talking to people, when you carry yourself with like love and you start working, I mean this goes for more to the young guys who are listening. I understand there's women listening too, but this is more for the guys. You know, like young guys, when you go out to the club and you go out there with the intention to just literally have fun and spread love, people are attracted to that energy 100-fold. There's times when we go out to a bar or to a club and you can see when guys start to have drinks, the true emotions, like start to come out. They start thinking in an emotional level. Like don't get me wrong, I'll still have a drink or I'll have a couple of drinks if I go out to a bar or to a club. But you got to keep your frame and stand firm. But you can see like there's people, once you start working on yourself, you can just sense people's energies and sense when people start to have, deep down internal issues that are unresolved. And that really comes out when people start drinking, especially when they're not in control when they start drinking. And I've noticed that especially this past weekend with a lot of guys at the club. You can just get creep vibes off of them. And I'm not necessarily saying they're creepers, but you can sense that there's unresolved issues deep down inside. But Nate and I are a lot more successful at the club, especially when it comes to talking with women or random people, just that, because we're walking in our truth. Like love us or hate us for who we are, we're walking in our truth. And that realness, people are attracted to that. And that realness and wanting to get better, I think it is what makes people more happier. I feel like people are becoming dead inside because they're not walking in their truth. They're numbing themselves, trying to avoid their emotions, trying to avoid, like that inner voice in their head, which we talked about in past episodes. And, I can just start to now notice that a lot more. Am I completely content where I am right now in life? No, not necessarily. But I have my ambition and my vision, and even being knocked off course, like I stay true to myself. And as Nate was saying earlier, take care of yourself first. Because if you want to become the best version of yourself for other people, you got to take care of yourself. You got to deal with all those internal issues, and you can't expect somebody else to do that for you. But when, love is supposed to be unconditional. You can't force somebody to deal with your problems. You can only do that for yourself.
Yes. You are not responsible for your trauma, but you are responsible for your healing. And one thing that we all have to come to realize is we can't change the past. We can have our desires for the future, and we can manifest them in the future and get what we want by knowing what we want. And in order to do that, we have to live in the present and live in the now and do the things day in and day out that we know we have to do in order to get where we want in the future. But lots of people don't want it. Lots of people don't want to take those actions because they're uncomfortable, or they're too lazy, or they say they don't have the time. And to be quite honest, I don't like when people say that they don't have the time, because we have plenty of time in our day to do day in and day out actions, to learn something new, to go to the gym, go out to eat with a friend, or go socialize. We always have time to do something, and it's always how you manage your time, and that's how you're gonna control how your future is. Are you surrounding yourself with those people that want to grow and grow businesses together and learn how to invest and get a better mindset and a more successful mindset in the day in and day out life? Or do you want to surround yourself with people who just want to get drunk all the time and just complain about what happened in their past or complain about what's happening to them now? Or do you want to honestly grow yourself with a community that's trying to become the best of them? And that's what you have to think of on a conscious level, day in and day out, and make those sacrifices. If I didn't go to the gym every day, I wouldn't be as big as I am now. No, I'm not on steroids, for everyone's asking, number one. And number two, it's just go to the gym and be disciplined. Honestly, people are shocked by Jordan and I's results, but it's honestly just staying disciplined on a day in and day out level. And yeah, we have our cheat weekends and all that, but we know that, hey, if we go to the gym, we work on ourselves, it's going to help us be the better version of ourselves. Yeah, I'm uncomfortable in the gym a lot. I'm sure Jordan can say the same.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, we're putting ourselves in that uncomfortable level so we grow. You don't grow when you are comfortable. And that's the thing people have to get used to, is the change. They always have to be changing and improving, because if you don't change something, how are you going to improve?
Exactly. And it is a cold, hard truth. If you're comfortable in life, you're not working hard enough. You should never feel comfort. I mean, I'm not going to say never. Like, yeah, you deserve you got to like have your R&R every once in a while, but it shouldn't be a common occurrence. It shouldn't be that's what you're looking forward to just constantly relax. What your main priority should be is your goals. And when you have taken the necessary steps to accomplish what you want to accomplish, and you have a little bit of time for R&R, go have fun. Go have a couple of drinks. Go hang out with people. Well, like, be in control. That's what all of this is about, is being in control.
Yes, and going back on the time thing, I saw a picture the other day, and it had a picture of Elon Musk back there, and it says, you have enough time, 168 hours per week. 40 hours at work, that's if you work 5 days a week, 8 hours. 7 at the gym, if you go to the gym an hour a day. 56 sleeping, that's 8 hours of sleeping every day. That's 65 hours left. Stop wasting and start doing. And that strikes big with people, because you could be reading a book. You could be watching on how to invest and how to just make $100 into $500. And hey, when you have that $500, try and make it into 1,000. Make that 1,000 to 5,000. Lots of people don't know. With day trading, if you have $5,000 and you make 2% per day, and you do that for a month, that's an extra $4,000 per month that you can be making in just passive income. Just with you making a position, buying low and selling high. 2% every day, Monday through Friday. That's all you have to do. And all you have to do is research into the stock. And yeah, you're going to make mistakes. I've made mistakes in the stock market. I'm sure everyone who has invested has made mistakes. But guess what? You learn from your mistakes. Am I going to make that same mistake twice? No. I learned from it. But hey, with that though, I've made more positive experiences from it, and I keep learning from it every day, and it's something that I look forward to. I like waking up and reading the news about my stocks and knowing, hey, is it going to go up today or down? And I like seeing how much I can make, and if I get in quick, get out fast. And honestly, it's something that motivates me and keeps me going, and it's a great conversation to have with someone. Lots of people talk about the same things over and over, or boring things over and over, and it's like, I don't want to talk about, hey, did you see Tom Brady at the Super Bowl or whatever? And those conversations don't interest me because they have no value in my life. How is it going to help me grow as a person? Honestly. And how's it going to get me to where I want to be in 5 years? Why should I hyper-focus on his life? I have my own life to live. I have to live in the now. And this is the spiritual. We like projecting ourselves into other people's lives, and we want to live that better life. The grass is always greener on the other side. Why don't you make your grass green? Water your grass. That's all you have to do. Just take care of your yard, and you will blossom and grow, and you can live a lifestyle that you want to live. As long as you have the good love in your heart and good intention, that's what you want to do, and you desire it. You have to love yourself in order to make yourself uncomfortable to do these things.
Yep. And also, I think what really makes one be resilient in facing challenges, and I think like your physical fitness plays a huge part just in your mental aspect. Like when you're confident in how you look, a lot of self-doubt, anger, uh, ego issues about getting shit done like disappears. I feel a lot more confident in my abilities to get things done now that I look good, like I feel like I can stand true and walk in my truth and like handle my business, cuz Nate and I the other day deadlifted 405 pounds, like
Twice.
like that's I understand there's guys I can hit that, who can hit a lot more. But if you want to put that into the average perspective of regular people, it's actually kind of ridiculous. And it's like, why should I really be concerned too much of the opinions of regular people? If you want to become a 1%er, the only opinions you should really take to heart are those of the 1%. I'm going to take criticism a lot more from somebody who runs their own business, drives a Bentley, like than somebody who just talking crap on, social media. Shout out just a normal person, whoever you are. Sorry. It's an inside joke. But, like focus on yourself, focus on your grind. When you're feeding your energy into other people, think about how much time you spend on social media a day. Yeah, you might spend 15 minutes upon waking up, 15 minutes at lunch, before and after lunch, this and that. And you probably spent 2 hours a day. You could have invested that 2 hours a day looking at, going on your TD, Ameritrade, Robinhood, whatever the hell it is that you got, building yourself. And then that's kind of like where everything ties into the spiritual warfare. Like we are all our own individual entities, and people are manipulating your energy, vice versa, to get what they want. You got to disconnect yourself from that. Like I'm not saying to completely disconnect yourself from social media and do this and that, but like really think about what's best for you in the long run. How are you going to get to where you want to be? I promise investing your time with other people who aren't going to reciprocate that energy back to you is going to get you nowhere. And if it's the wrong person, especially if someone that you love, it'll definitely drain you.
Facts. And this is where we're conscious on everything that we do, and we establish our boundaries with everyone that we know, because you let in whatever energy that you allow to let in. And we're all conscious of that, and I think we should be aware of that. So that brings me to my next point here. When we talk about when you desire something, or do you want something, or do you dream of something, there's differences between these. Lots of people want to be rich. They dream of being rich, but do they desire it? And are they just putting all their faith into it, and they're just thinking they're going to get rich one day off luck of a draw? So they're going to find $500,000 on the street one day, know how to invest it, become a millionaire, and then become a billionaire. Like, how do people expect themselves to become rich, or dream of themselves becoming rich, or desire it? There's a difference between those, and I think people should be conscious of it.
Yeah, definitely. And also, this is actually something I wanted to touch upon earlier. I don't know, I guess it just didn't occur to me. But now, I'm pretty sure I said this in an earlier episode, but your time is your money. Like, and this is where I guess it's going to tie all of it into it. Let's just say you make $15 an hour. All right. You go to a dinner that's going to cost you $30. That's $2. That's 2 hours of your life for that dinner. $30 is normally what I spend in groceries a week. Nate and I normally, split groceries, go spend about $60, $70 a week, whatever, $30, $40 a week on groceries. It's okay to eat out, like I'm saying, but there's a fine difference between, like when it's okay and when it becomes a problem. And that's where the financial literacy comes into play. Your time is your money. And also, a lot of people complaining, I can never make this much amount of money. People do make the money. People do have the time. People can take on extra jobs or do stuff to invest. But it's like money doesn't, just grow on trees, and people demanding $15 an hour, like I can understand why people want more money, but ultimately you get paid what you're ultimately worth. Increase your worth. increase your worth as a person, increase your worth as an individual, and really consider the assets that you have. Like, okay, there's ways to where you can reduce costs, and you're going to have leftover money to invest, but you don't know what to invest in. Well, how much time have you taken to actually learn about that? There's guys on YouTube you could be watching right now. What's his name?
Ricky Gutierrez.
Yeah. You want to learn about the stock market? Easy. Like, watch Ricky Gutierrez. Shout out to him. I've been watching him, and that's how I've been learning how to use TD Ameritrade. You want to learn real estate? Look up Ben Mala. He'll tell you how to get a property with only $10,000 in your bank account and decent credit. Like, there is an unlimited amount of resources out there, but you choose to instead watch these rappers talk about their baby mamas on Instagram, yada, yada, entertainment. Invest in yourself. Read a book.
Yes, read a book. Find yourself as a person. Meditate. Get more flexible. Get stronger. Become a faster runner. Whatever it is, something that helps you grow. And know, hey, the first few days that you're doing these things, you're not going to see immediate results. It's kind of like my garden. I started a garden and I planted these seeds, and now I get to watch them grow from nothing into something. And I get to watch them fully blossom, and I get to see my flowers come up. I get to see my peppers grow. I get to see my 2 palm trees grow. Like, I'm excited for this, and it's also knowing that, hey, I used to be scrawny. I wasn't this big one day, but I put in the time, work, discipline for it. I put in the love, the energy, and here I am today. And I sit here, and I look good, and now I'm going to have a good-looking garden here in a few weeks. I'm going to have my peppers growing. I'm going to have my trees growing. And that's investing time into yourself, because you get to see the beginning, the middle, and the end. And you did that yourself, and that's helping you grow as a person, because guess what? You just knocked something out. You accomplished something. Every time you accomplish something from the beginning, middle, and end, you grow as a person, and you learn from it. Whether it was a success or if it was a failure, you will still learn no matter what. And I think I have one more topic for us for the spiritual warfare aspect of everything here today. So I don't know if anyone here, I've had my own experiences, and I have my own testimonies of seeing angels and demons. And I know what side I'm on. I stand in the truth, the light, the love. I stand on God's side, and I know that He will win in the end and all this. But you have to be aware of these things, like fear. Fear plays into our spiritual warfare as well. If we let fear consume us and we're scared of everything within our life, there's people who are too scared to even drive, or they're scared to go outside because of the coronavirus, or they're scared to go on airplanes. And fear is something that we make for ourselves. And should we let other people's fears control our lives? And is that toxic if we let other people's fears control our lives? And that's a question that I have for you, I guess, Jordan, and for the audience to ask themselves. Because if someone wanted me to change my whole life over something that they fear, I don't know how. I wouldn't respond in I would respond in a friendly manner, but I wouldn't change my life for their fear. I'd keep going about my life and take care of myself.
I'm actually happy you brought up that point. That flew over my head, but I think that definitely is an important topic to discuss during this episode. The positive versus negative emotions and how you go through life with them. We are all human. We are both we're going to experience negativity and positivity in our lives. How you manifest those energies is often going to result in the outcome of whatever it is that you're planning on doing or experiencing. The negative emotions, and I think the biggest one is fear. It's human, it's human to fear things, but fear, nothing great ever gets accomplished with people who are who fear stuff. Like, you got to take risks in life. When you, as earlier you said, when you get comfortable, you might have your average Joe life. But if you want to be great which is what this podcast is about, is unleashing that inner greatness. You got to push past those limitations of fear. And those are other, in this book that I actually read, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, I recommend anybody who listens to this podcast to read that book, because it goes into the law of attraction and how mindset influences how you pretty much do everything in life. You can accomplish anything if you take control of the mind. That's the whole point of the book. There's the negative emotions, which is like fear, hatred, jealousy, anger. When you start doing things in life out of that, that can be a good source of fuel. Revenge. You can get places, and with that, but it's not good for yourself. It's not good for your inner being.
Not good for your spirit.
Exactly. For a long time, I'm not gonna lie, I was grinding hard, trying to prove people wrong. For a long time, I was grinding hard because I was hurt, because I was angry, and ultimately all it does is it destroys you at the end. You want to be doing things for yourself, not for other people.
Exactly. And I think that's great. And I think that we should all fight fear whenever we come across it and challenge it face to face. Because if you think about it, no one's creating that fear but you. And that's a battle that you have with your head. So whether that be you're too scared to go for a walk on a hiking trail because you think that like a alligator's gonna come bite your leg or something. Like sometimes that's a fear you have to get over when you're walking on a hiking trail and there's like little ponds nearby and all that. And then you just tell yourself, hey, like if it happens, it happens. Like what am I gonna do? I have to react to the situation, but hey, I'm going to enjoy my life and time out here instead.
Or there's also people who are afraid to go to the gym because they're afraid to be judged. Everybody has a starting point. I mean, when Nate and I first went to the gym, we were scrawny as hell, can barely put up a plate, but, if you allow those fears and those negative emotions to take over you, and they'll knock you off your grind and you're never going to be happy. Warning, I'm about to use an expletive. Fuck other people's feelings. Fuck what anybody else says about you. Walk in your truth. Walk in your path. Create a vision for who you want to be, and don't let anyone destroy that vision. Don't let anyone come in your path. Stay true to yourself. Don't take nobody else's bullshit. And then soon enough, you'll find people with the same kind of mindset as you, and you'll attract that. But stay true to yourself no matter what.
Yes, keep being yourself. Keep being true to your spirit. Conquer that mind, body, and spirit. And those are the 3 big things that you have to do. That's our hashtag that we've been using. Use it, and we'll share your post and all that. And I'd like to end with today's subject. And when you are improving yourself, try and challenge yourself to improve all 3 of these things at once. So whether you are going for a run to improve your physical body, right? Try and improve your mental, your mind, and your spiritual sense as well. Build that spiritual spiritual warrior within yourself. Build that tough mindset. Build that better body that you want, and keep improving these things as you go, and try and stay conscious along the way on all these things. Even when you go to the gym, I challenge you to attempt this, and you will see yourself grow at a better rate.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. I hear kids yelling outside. That's okay.
Yeah, the little neighbor kids.
Anyways, like I was saying, just take care of your body. Take care of your body, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. You take care of your body. I can promise you without a doubt, you'll start to feel better in all aspects. You'll feel better mentally, emotionally, mental clarity. Be very careful of what you're putting in. I'm not telling you not to, go out, have fun. I'm not telling you to never smoke weed, but like, think about it. Think before choosing, think about what you're doing before, you do it. All of our actions, good or bad, have consequences. They're either going to be a good consequence or a bad consequence. Make sure you get your shit done and you set up yourself for your future, before going to do out some, to do some bullshit. And everyone, I go out and have fun. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have a couple drinks, like it's whatever. But really, think, think. That person that you're dating now, are they good for you? Are you happy with the way that you look right now? If the answer is no, guess what? You have an option to do something about it. Don't like your financial situation? You can do something about it. We are in control of our lives. In the moment you subscribe to that victim mindset, you lost the game. That's how it is. People can come out of the mud and make themselves millionaires, billionaires, but it's all how you live your life. It's all about how the choices that you make and the mentality that you subscribe to.
Facts. Don't develop a loser mindset. View yourself as a winner. View yourself as the best thing, but keep humble about it at the same time, because you have to keep growing as an individual throughout your everyday life. And with us growing with our everyday life, Joe and I, in the middle of this episode, just established the LLC for ReGrown. And that means here about 2 to 4 weeks, we'll be working with our host and being able to accept donations for our podcast. If people would be so willing to support us and so kind to support us and our growth.
Yes, thank you all. Yeah, we've kind of been quiet in the past couple of weeks. We've been trying to go through a professionalization process. Like we said earlier, we are now on Spotify. We're still going to be on SoundCloud, YouTube, all of that. Soon enough, we'll get video on YouTube as well. And we're going to be bringing on guests, different kinds of guests, different episodes, where we talk about real estate investing, bringing real estate investment lawyers, commercial real estate agents, everything, And if you guys are interested in, even possibly being a guest or suggesting someone who has credentials in their field of work, please let us know, get us in contact, and we'd love to pick their brains.
Yes, message us on Instagram, Facebook, whatever it may be. Go follow us on all our platforms. And yes, thank you for listening. Hope you all enjoyed the episode. Let us know what you think.
Anyways, that wraps it up, guys. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you soon.